Welcome to Soulfully Blonde. Do you want to feed your soul and nourish your mind? Tune in for motivating messages and meaningful conversations with glow-getters, soulpreneurs, authors, mentors, and coaches as they share powerful wisdom, dynamic journeys, and inspiration that will ignite your soul to shine its brightest. Now, here is your host, Carol Star Taylor.
Have you ever struggled to finish a tub of protein powder? Get bored easily with your protein powder flavors? Or are inexperienced with supplements and aren't sure what works for you? Scoop Supplements is your answer. Scoop Supplements is the first and only company to offer protein powder and supplements by the scoop, customized just for you. Choose from a variety of flavors. Select your supplements in any quantity you desire and have it shipped to you. Delivering across North America, Scoops lowers the commitment and increases the variety of your supplements. To learn more about Scoops, you can visit them at scoopsupplements.com or on their Instagram page @scoopsupplements.
Hey, everybody. It's Carol Star Taylor here. Welcome to the show. I am so happy for you to join me and my special, dynamic, badass guest, Jamie Gates. And just if you haven't seen it on social media, you don't want to miss this show. You want to call in and speak to Jamie. She is the badassiest badass. She is the founder and CEO, Chief Empowerment Officer of the Badass Boss Babe Club. And today we're going to be talking about how to be a badass boss babe in life and business. And so when you want to call into the show, you can just click on soulfullyblonde.com and click on call into the show and ask Jamie anything. Or you can call in with 1-844-390-8255. And I am super, super pumped for this show. Welcome, Jamie.
Thank you, Carol. I am super excited to be here. It's an honor.
Thank you. So, Badass Boss Babe Club, which I am so familiar with because I'm a member and I found you on social media like most people. So we take the social part of social media and we network and we get to know each other. And I am so really honored to have you because I think more people need to know about you. And your company's called Badass Boss Babe Club. So let's start right from the top. Badass. What does badass mean to you?
To me, being a badass is about being relentless, about going after your dreams and your goals and not giving up. It's about being tough on yourself, but not on other people. Being a badass is not being a jackass. It's being like your true, authentic self and just believing in who you are and in your abilities and just having that determined attitude that gets you through everything and you just keep going.
So, I mean, now we talk about that in business, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so I know that there's sometimes we go, everything is like a boss, right? Everything's a boss. Yeah. So the boss babe aspect, you help women run their businesses, right? Yes. What tips do you have for them to actually do this?
The tips that I have for a woman to run her business like a boss, there's 4 things I think that you need to focus on when you're running your business, and you need to do them equally. It's being a boss. So I love acronyms. It's brand, operate, strategize, and sell. And with those, with your branding, you want to make sure that your brand is authentic, that it represents you. It's your voice, your vibe, your vision, and your tribe. And when we are marketing to our ideal client, then, other people can come in, but your business grows so much easier. There's flow when you're attracting your tribe. And then operating, you want to make sure that you are scheduling your day. I like to do time blocking and do little 20-minute segments to get stuff done. Also, collaborating with other women is always really helpful. And then also the strategizing. You want to make sure that you set your long-term goals and that you have a roadmap. There's a lot of women I know in business that do not have a business plan, and you don't need a 20-page business plan, but you need a plan for your business. And then you need to work the plan. And then the last part is to sell. And that's, I really believe in relationship marketing. The KLT factor, it's like a BLT, but with you, the know, like, and trust factor. And, people nowadays, they want authentic, they want real, even with the big brands out there. They're showing up as people instead of as a major company. So you want to make sure that you are developing relationships with your customers and your clients. And then my secret to growing your business is show up, speak up, level up. So you want to make sure that you take advantage of any opportunity that's out there to promote your business. And then don't be afraid to open your mouth and say who you are and what you do and what you love, and let people get to know you, and then level up. I just keep pushing myself to rise to the next level. And those are my business tips.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I always say, and you may have seen it on social media and maybe some of our listeners, I always say your vibe attracts your tribe. But what I find as a soulpreneur, SOUL, is that a lot of people think that, hey, I'm going to put it out there and people will just come to me. What do you say to that?
I say you have to put in the effort. And you either have to spend money or you have to spend time. And there's some women that they just, think, oh, I did a post, so, why aren't people finding me? You have to be consistent. And, also it's okay to sell to people as long as that's not all you're doing, but you have to let people know that you have a product or service that they can actually buy from you. And I think that with women, a lot of times we're afraid to say, you know what, you can buy this. So
right,
I think, just letting people know you're in business and it's okay. It's okay for us to make money.
Yeah, I think that is part of it. And there's a lot of limiting beliefs around being a boss, whether it's a boss in life or a boss in business, because it is it's not easy. And a lot, and you said like to be consistent. If advertising worked only once, we wouldn't see advertising campaigns. Exactly. Our biggest brands that we consume every day would have only been on a commercial once. We have to know that, there's consistency and again, the like, know, and trust factor. So the more you get to know, the more but again, I think one of the things you did say was you have to be consistent and or invest in your business. And I think that people, part of that marketing plan, part of that business plan is to invest in yourself and your business. If you don't have a budget for your business, I'm sorry, it's not a business.
Right. I agree. Yeah. I see, there's a lot of people out there that, I'll talk to them about advertising and ask what their budget is. And they say that they don't have one. And I'm like, well, how long have you been in business? Oh, I've been doing this for 2 or 3 years. Well, if you haven't made enough money in 2 or 3 years, then you need to go get a job. This is a hobby. It's a hobby for you. And so you can, and that's fine. You can treat it as a hobby, but just know that that's what it is. And, if you really want to be serious about growing a business, then you do have to invest in it and yourself to be successful.
That's correct. I completely agree. And so, what about the babe part? Because we've got, it's a slang term. We've got, hey, babe. What does being a babe? What does being a babe mean to you?
Oh, so this one I love. Being a babe is not about, being a PYT, pretty young thing, like that song back from back a long time ago. I'm dating myself now.
Back in the day.
I know. Being a babe is really about self-love and self-care and taking care of your well-being, your health and your wellness. It is loving yourself enough to make right choices that, so that you can live a healthy life. Because I believe, and through my experience, when our health is failing, other areas of our life can suffer. And so we really have to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves so that we can take care of others.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If anybody wants to call in and ask Jamie anything, click on that call in button, and we are ready to take your calls anytime. And Cameron is standing by waiting to let you connect with us. So, I think that it really is a whole mind, body, and soul thing to be, that's how I look at it. And really, I think that one of the things that I often encounter, and I don't know about you, but for women entrepreneurs, or I call them soulpreneurs or solopreneurs, she probably starting to struggle, at the beginning. And we've had the last few years have been hard. Can I say shit show?
Yes.
Can I say, a constant, struggle, even for those people that have had, thriving businesses. There have been a lot of pivots. And I know there are a lot of people that don't like the word pivot, but here we go. Yeah. What one piece of advice for those people that are struggling? What would you say?
My biggest piece of advice is to find a community of people, a community of women that support you, believe in you, encourage you, that you can mastermind with, that you can talk to, you can vent to. A lot of times, we have family and friends that when we're struggling, they make the struggle a little bit harder instead of a little bit easier. And so finding a community of people who believe in you and that will celebrate your success with you, because I feel like when you celebrate those successes, it helps you rise faster. And so I really think that a key to being successful and getting through those difficult periods is to surround yourself with people who believe in you.
No, I believe, and you know what, on the hardest days, sometimes it's difficult for us to believe in our own selves, right? So we do need that cheerleader to say, hey girl, or hey guy, you know what, you still got it. You got it. You're doing it every day. You don't have to, showing up. Would you say that showing up is, some days you're showing up 100%. Some days you're showing up 150%. And some days you're just showing up 5%.
Yes, absolutely. And Carol, they say that the secret to success, 90% of success is showing up. So I would say even on those days where you don't feel like it and you do, that's a huge success that should be, made. You should feel good about it on those days. When you feel really good, it's easy. But on the days that it's hard and you show up, that should be celebrated. Right.
And so, I can say this, pretty authentically, and me, I would say that, sometimes we're thriving in one area in our life, right? So sometimes our business is just rocking, but our personal lives, it's just not there because, sometimes we think that, we've all got to be that business. We've got to be that badass boss babe in business, and we're assertive and we are all of that, right? But how come, or what can we do in our personal lives to incorporate those same principles so that we can have that badass boss babe in life?
That is a great question, Carol. And I believe it ties back into being a badass boss babe. So the badass is about your mindset. It's about gratitude. It's about meditation, motivation, keeping your intellect going. And then the boss, you work on your business a little bit. but set boundaries so you're not working 24/7. I think that's huge. And then the babe, the health and wellness, every day you have to take care of yourself. And I like to use acronyms. And another one I use with my clients is to remind them to take their daily meds to be a babe. So that's to move, eat, drink, sleep, and self-care. And so every day I feel like, especially as soulpreneurs, solopreneurs, women entrepreneurs, we have to focus on the badass, the boss, and the babe in balance every day.
Yeah, for sure. But the funny thing is that I'm thinking, sometimes, we have to go out of our comfort zones and to be that badass boss babe is quite intimidating for a lot of people. So, I often, post, be bold, be bold, be bold, but people, I think, misunderstand that being bold needs to be that I'm that out there personality. So, what is it about, let's say, being bold or being that boss or that, badass, that people can use that terminology, but incorporate that authentically, because not everybody is that out there.
Yes.
Bodacious type of person.
Right. And, I don't think that you necessarily have to be like super outgoing and exuberant. Be authentic, be who you are. I think the biggest thing with being bold is that when you feel the fear, you lean into it and let it fuel you. So that's what being bold is. It's like, oh my gosh, this scares me. What do I do? Well, you do it. That's what you do. And I also think that we have to stop thinking, if that makes sense. The analysis paralysis, and we try to like weigh the pros and the cons, and what if I do this and what if I don't do that? Just do it. And I feel like it's better to get out there, make your mistakes. The mistakes are just, lessons that we're learning. If you make a mistake, that means you're closer to success because you're going to keep trying and you're going to get it right one of these times, So I say to be bold is to not be fearless. It's to like lean into your fear and do it anyways.
Yeah. Well, I would say, go out of, I would say I go out of my comfort zone every single day, even if it's something small. And a lot of times, at least for me, and I know there probably are a lot of my listeners that are like this, technology, I'm not really that technology savvy. And so, every little thing that I need to do is challenging. And sometimes, even doing a social media live is like, holy crap. It's challenging and we have to do it. If you want to do something, if you want to show up, if you want people to get to know who you are, you can't be out there without being out there.
Yeah.
Right. So, I think that because a lot of people, and again, I think that you work with a lot of people that are, starting their businesses and they want that advice and they want to network, but they don't know how. What are you thinking about that? Like how do you, how important is networking?
I think personally that networking is huge. I have my own networking organization, and then I attend as many networking events as I can. It's about, again, getting people to know, like, and trust you. And I would say, there are so many virtual and in-person networking events. We're meeting in person again. And I would just say, find as many as you can, and then pick 2 or 3 groups that you love and make that your home.
Awesome. And when we come back from the break, I would love to know about your personal journey with women's empowerment and your experiences. So let's go to the break, and then we will talk about that when we get back.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Star House Publishing, Inc. Have you always dreamed of writing a book and sharing your story? What's holding you back? Perhaps you've not moved forward because you don't know what to do or who to trust. By choosing to partner with Star House Publishing Inc., they can help you make your dream of publishing reality with a shelf-quality book. They are an author-focused company taking a collaborative approach with your unique book. Your voice is your gift to the world. It will inspire, inform, motivate, entertain, teach, and emotionally move people to make a difference and change the trajectory of their lives with your words. Their compilation projects offer bundled professional services, including one-on-one coaching with NLP, global distribution to over 70 online retailers. Star House Publishing is currently filling their 14th compilation book, The Soulology Chronicles Glow. Star House Publishing is your complete professional publishing solution. To contact Star House Publishing for your solo book and or to be a part of the compilation, The Soulology Chronicles Glow, for both men and women, contact starhousepublishing.com.
Welcome back. And for those of you that are just joining us, we are with the amazing Jamie Gates, and she is the Badass Boss Babe, Chief Empowerment Officer of Badass Boss Babe Club. And we are talking about all things badass, being a boss, being a babe, mind, body, and soul. And we are talking about your business, how to level up, how to show up. And now I think we really need to kind of get to the meat of everything, Jamie, and tell me, why is it, from your personal journey, why is it so important to you, and why you're so passionate about women's empowerment?
I am passionate about women's empowerment. I think one of the main reasons is because it was what I was born to do. And I, for many years, I went searching for my purpose and my passion. And, sometimes you have to go you down. And once I realized that it was helping other women succeed. And I also know that I need it. It feels good when someone cheers you on, when someone says nice words about what you're doing. And so I just want to be that for the women out there that are struggling, that are starting out, that are succeeding. I just want to be a cheerleader and help them move forward.
And so what are some of the experiences on the opposite end that you have felt that kind of drove you to realizing that there was a, like a vacant space in the world for that?
Yes. So I am a recovering people pleaser. And for many years,
aren't we all?
Yeah. I hit 50 and I'm like, you know what? It's about making sure that I have joy in my life. And then, once I have joy, I can spill out onto other people. So there was a period in my life where I was more concerned with what everybody else was thinking and what they were doing. And, imposter syndrome crept in, and I would have an idea and then I'd see somebody else do it. And I'd be like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to do mine now. When later I realized that you have to do yours because you're going to attract different people, and we all have a different audience out there. So just because somebody does something that you want to do, you can still do it. But the biggest thing was I was surrounding myself with women who did not believe in me. And it wasn't like outwardly talking bad about me, but it was just the conversations. And I would say, oh, I'm really excited about this project. And the response would be, do you really think you can do that? Are you the one to do that? Should it be you? And so it was just, these subtle little influences or, subtle little voices out there. And I was having some health issues. I did a health detox. And through that time, I decided that I needed to detox all areas of my life. That's also where the babe came in, taking care of your health and wellness. And so through that, I started detoxing some relationships that were out there, some friendships that it doesn't mean that I can't be friends with certain people anymore, but I just had to keep them at arm's length, and then there was other ones, they say, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I say, keep your friends close and your frenemies far away. You do not need to keep them in your inner circle. So, just be careful who you're spending time with. So I did the health detox, and then I did the friendship detox, and really, just made a list of, does this does this thing bring me joy? Or when I leave this situation, when I leave this person, am I feeling drained? And if I was feeling drained, then I had to distance myself. And I think that was one of the biggest things that helped with my mental state, with my mental well-being. And yeah. And then I also did a social media detox. So,
oh, well, that sometimes helps. I would say that, not so much about a social media detox, because I'm constantly on social media.
Yeah.
However, I think that I went through a period of time where I was noticing what my feed looked like.
Yes.
And it wasn't the energy that I wanted to attract. It wasn't the energy that I wanted to penetrate into my being, because you can't control, you can't control when you're on social media, or when the news or whatever it is, you can't control all the messages coming into your space. So I changed a lot of the groups that I was following and the people that I was friending and all of these things on social media. And now I would say I don't have all that negativity. So, my feed is all about inspiration and empowerment and love. And, and I think I think people need to do social media detox, not necessarily getting off social media.
Yeah, that's exactly what, yeah. So my social media detox was getting the garbage out, just like you do a detox on your body, it's to get the garbage out. And so exact same thing that you did. I, looked at what was showing up in my feed, what groups was I a part of, what friends were popping up. And, and so now my feed is just like yours. It's all about, love and empowerment and family and friends and good times.
Awesome. And yeah, it makes a world of difference, because, that's the way to relationship build, when you can actually relate and everybody's on the same vibration. And if they're not on the same vibration, we as leaders, we as people have to raise the bar, raise people up. Right. So I think that's, that is such an important thing that we need to do. So after the break, we will be talking about more of Badass Boss Babe and what the club is all about, what you're doing with it, what makes it so different. If anybody wants to call into the show, click on that call in button at soulfullyblonde.com and speak to Jamie and ask her anything. And we're going to break. And then when we come back, we're going to get into more deets.
Have you ever struggled to finish a tub of protein powder? Get bored easily with your protein powder flavors? Or are inexperienced with supplements and aren't sure what works for you? Scoop Supplements is your answer. Scoop Supplements is the first and only company to offer protein powder and supplements by the scoop, customized just for you. Choose from a variety of flavors. Select your supplements in any quantity you desire and have it shipped to you. Delivering across North America, Scoops lowers the commitment and increases the variety of your supplements. To learn more about Scoops, you can visit them at scoopsupplements.com or on their Instagram page at Scoop Supplements.
And we're back with Jamie Gates. And she is the CEO, Chief Empowerment Officer with Badass Boss Babe Club. And she founded the club, and it is her passion and her purpose. So Jamie, I just wanted to tell you, and by the way, guys, if you want to call into the show, just press that call in button and you can ask Jamie anything. So one of the things that I really wanted to know, because, you know, you and I have talked so much before, but what is it that you really want to accomplish? I know it's a big question.
Yeah.
I want to change the world.
I'm building my empire. What I really want to accomplish is I want to grow local and global communities of women who truly support, uplift, and empower each other. And, you know, that we clap for the other women. I believe that there's enough for all of us to go around. And even if there's women that do something similar, I believe we can come together and help each other rise. So I really am passionate about growing local and global communities of women to do that.
And so what makes, you know, there's a lot of different clubs, there's a lot of different networking organizations, a lot of women's organizations. What makes your organization different?
What makes us different is that we are taking the work out of networking. We like to have fun. And, you know, I believe that you can run your business like you're throwing a party and you can have fun with it. You can, like, not everything has to be just so serious and, you know, hit the books all the time. So I really believe that, you know, with us, we do a lot of virtual social events right now, in addition to our networking. We also offer coaching. Some networking organizations are just networking. So we also do coaching and mentoring, and that's about the community. And then, you know, we love to have girl time. We love to celebrate, have fun.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and the thing is that, you know, we've never met in person, but we've been online and on Zooms, and I've met so many people and collaborated with so many within, because we're on the same vibration. So, you know, I think that is when you know, finding your tribe of soul, heart-centered entrepreneurs where, you know, it's not so hard. I mean, we're serious about our businesses, but you don't need to be hardcore without heart.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think we're hardcore.
Hardcore. That's right. I think we've come up with a new term now.
Yeah.
We are hardcore.
Yeah. I'm making a note. We're coming up with t-shirts on that one.
Okay. And you know what? I bet you there is not an organization out there, and I know that for a fact, that their mascot is a flamingo.
Yes. Our flamingo, our mascot. Yeah.
So, you know, I know that, you know, we've spent time talking, you know, on a personal note. And for those of you that want to follow Jamie and the Badass Boss Babe Club, I totally welcome you to do that. And, you know, so Jamie is the flamingo who before even meeting Jamie, I hadn't given a flamingo a thought in my entire life. So I'm sure that many of you, although we think they are beautiful birds, why the flamingo? Why?
That's a great question. So what happened was shortly after I had rebranded my company in 2018, we went on a road trip to see my boyfriend's family for Christmas, and his niece, who was around 6 at the time, sent us a text message and said, "What's your favorite animal?" I did not have a favorite animal, so I just tried to think of what would be a great answer to tell a 6-year-old little girl. And so I just, you know, said flamingo. So she painted me the most beautiful flamingo for Christmas.
Aww.
And it was just, you know, I hung that in my office, and then I started doing research on what the flamingo means, because I just love doing weird random research like that. And I just fell in love with the meaning behind the flamingo. So it's to stand tall and stand out, be bold, like we talked about earlier. It's about finding your balance, wading into water, not being afraid to get your feet wet, which is, when you feel that fear, lean in, do it, get your feet wet. It's about spending time with your flock, like we also talked about, find that community, your tribe, your flock. That's going to support you. And then flamingo actually comes from the Spanish word flamenco, which is both a dance and it also is the word fire. And I believe that you should find the thing that sets your soul on fire and the thing that makes you so filled with joy that you want to dance. And so, and then, Carol, you and I, we did a little bit more research, which I just love that we did that together and found out that, the flamingos are not born pink. It's what they eat. It's what nourishes them that makes them pink. And so same with us, being a babe, watch what you're eating. And if you want to shine bright, then, eat food that helps you shine bright. And so we've adopted Sue the Flamingo, and Sue stands for support, uplift, empower. So if you see flamingos, when you see us, that's what it is. That's what Sue is all about.
Yeah. And I think that also, we all go through that personal and professional transformation. Yes. So it's, as we grow and as we learn and as we try and as we, I really don't like the word failure. I'm not a fan. Right. And so when you define success, what does success mean for you?
For me, success is, I think the biggest way that I know that I'm a success is by the testimonials and the cards that I get, the emails, the social media posts, and how I have helped women change their lives, how I've helped them transform, how I've helped them overcome fear and their limiting beliefs. For me, it's not about the money. We need to make money and it helps the world go around. It pays to make the world go around. But for me, the success is really about changing women's lives and helping them be the most fabulous version of themselves and helping them fall in love with themselves.
It's true, right? It's true. And so, we talked earlier about, that personal, that sometimes our businesses are flying high or our personal lives are like, oh my God, this is so great. And then our businesses are like crickets. But, there's those peaks and valleys being in business. And even if somebody is not even in business or maybe they're contemplating going into business, but there are high days, there are low days. And sometimes as an entrepreneur, that happens within milliseconds. You can experience, 15 different emotions. I often joke, you wake up in the morning, you're all pumped. And then, a couple of hours later, it's like, oh my God, I'm going bankrupt. And then then you get like, oh my God, this is so great. And it's all in one freaking day. And it's like a roller coaster. So how do you, with all of these things and how do you stay positive and focused personally?
I'm going to get to that in just a minute because I just thought of another phrase. I'm not bipolar. I'm an entrepreneur. Because literally, like you were saying, Carol, it's like you could have those highs and lows. You could up and down like a roller coaster in a 24-hour period. And so, I think remembering your why you're doing what you're doing, having a goal or goals to work towards helps keep you on track. I like to, I have, it's like a vision board. I call it a success board, and it's things that I want to accomplish in my life. And so that I have it in my office to help me stay focused and to know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
So after the break, we're going to talk about some of those things that you want to accomplish. And we will continue with Jamie. And if you want to call in, you can call into the show, click on call in. And Jamie's happy to take your call. We'll be right back.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Star House Publishing, Inc. Have you always dreamed of writing a book and sharing your story? What's holding you back? Perhaps you've not moved forward because you don't know what to do or who to trust. By choosing to partner with Star House Publishing, Inc., they can help you make your dream of publishing reality with a shelf-quality book. They are an author-focused company taking a collaborative approach with your unique book. Your voice is your gift to the world. It will inspire, inform, motivate, entertain, teach, and emotionally move people to make a difference and change the trajectory of their lives with your words. Their compilation projects offer bundled professional services, including one-on-one coaching with NLP, global distribution to over 70 online retailers. Star House Publishing is currently filling their 14th compilation book, The Soulology Chronicles Glow. Star House Publishing is your complete professional publishing solution. To contact Star House Publishing for your solo book and or to be a part of the compilation, The Soulology Chronicles Glow, for both men and women, contact starhousepublishing.com.
And we're back with Jamie Gates of the Badass Boss Babe Club, and welcome again after this break. So I just wanted to ask you, Jamie, so you coach others to be a badass boss babe. How are you showing up as your own badass boss babe? Woo!
Oh, so, I get out of bed and that's step one. Sometimes
That's step one.
Sometimes I just want to stay in bed. I have some health issues that I deal with, and I get up, I get out of bed, I make my bed. So I have accomplished a successful act very first thing in the morning that sets my tone for the day. And then I just, I really try to take care of myself and keep my goals in sight so that I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I just really, I got a little distracted there.
I know, because you didn't know I was going to ask you that. I kind of threw you off there, but so what do you think is the most important thing that you've learned in your life?
I think the most important thing is to take hold of your mindset and to be aware of your thoughts, where your focus goes, energy flows. And you really, I don't believe in being Pollyanna and seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, but I do believe that if you look for good, you're going to find the good. If you look for bad, you're going to find the bad. And so even on the bad days, I have to find things that I'm grateful for, and I have to shift my mindset and just be thankful and grateful. And that gets me through the hard times. And I just keep pushing on. There's days I want to give up. There's days it's hard. There's days I want to go back to bed and take a nap. And I, like you, Carol, I show up, I speak up, and I level up. And I just keep pushing myself to be the best version of me.
Yeah. And what was the old Jamie like before she became a badass boss babe?
I think there's the badass boss babe has always been under there. It's just, at times I let other people quiet her. And, I was a cheerleader in high school, captain of the cheerleading squad, and I have a very loud voice and I get shushed a lot. And so for a long time, and it's just, my voice is naturally loud. And so for a long time, I listened to those people when they told me to speak quieter. And so then when I did that, I stopped sharing my message altogether because I was afraid that I was going to be too loud, or I was going to be too much, or I was going to be whatever. And, now I say it louder for those in the back. And if you don't like how loud I am, then don't sit at my table. You can sit 3 tables back. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep saying what I'm going to keep spreading my message that women need to be empowered. People in general, you can do anything that you want, as long as you put in the time, the effort, the energy, and just keep going I think that's the big message today, is just keep going.
Keep going, keep shining, keep going.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you had mentioned that, you have a loud voice and that you were shushed. I also, well, through lots of, my background, I would say that most of my life I was shushed and in a variety of different ways, and dealing with all kinds of things that people didn't support me in any way. And so I was totally not that I wasn't myself. I think I was always myself, but I wasn't who I was destined to be, because I started to get quiet. And so what about some of those people, because they aren't gregarious, or they do have those limiting beliefs? How can they find their voice?
I think stepping from, being a muted version of yourself into living a life full color. It's really about, taking a moment to get introspective and ask yourself, who am I? Who do I want to be? What does the future Jamie look like? And what actions do I need to take today to show up as her tomorrow? And so I think, we as humans have a tendency to just go through life. We get up, have breakfast, work out, go to work, come home, have dinner, watch TV, go to bed. And there's this routine that a lot of people get sucked into, and they never really ask themselves, what makes me happy? What brings me joy? What do I want to do with my life? What do I want my purpose to be? What is my purpose? Where am I going on this journey? And so I think if we take time and really, just get quiet with ourselves and listen, let our heart speak and tell us, and then to take action to become that person. And so I think it's, just really getting clear with yourself and being honest and vulnerable with yourself, which is really hard, because I think we have a tendency to shush ourselves sometimes,
Well, I think that comes from overthinking or not. But a lot of it is that imposter syndrome, that we can't do it. We can't do it. Oh, she can do it, but not me. I'm not this. I'm not this. We are always focusing on what we're not, when we should be focusing on that we are. We just don't know her yet. She hasn't come out to play yet.
Right. But she's going to be so much fun when she does come out.
Yeah. And I think that's, so I think that there's a lot of that going on. And we have a caller. So we've got Gabby from Texas. Hi, Gabby. Welcome to the show. You've got a question for Jamie.
Hi, Gabby.
Hi. Yes, I have a question. Why women? Why do you think it's important for women to have these kind of networking groups?
That's a great question, Gabby. I think it's important because, as I talked about a little bit earlier, we need to surround ourselves with women who are empowering and supportive, and, finding a community that believes in you and will cheer you on. And that's really, what our networking group is about. It's not just showing up and handing out your business card and moving on to the next event. It's about cultivating relationships and really getting to know each other so that we can support each other, collaborate, and develop not only partnerships, but friendships, and grow our business in a fun, exciting way.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you.
I love that.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have Oh, thank you. Thanks for calling in. Yeah. So, and I, did you have another question, Gabby?
She's gone.
Okay. So the thing about, I find that when you start to build relationships, I think that you end up the one thing that I've connected with so many of the badass boss babes and supported them, and just in a chat on the phone, which is something that you encourage. Mm-hmm. And I think that, out of all the groups that I've been part of, I have felt a distinct difference. And that for me is, I think it all stems from you. And so, yeah, and I say this really as it's just so important. If you could have, other than, showing up, and keep going, do you have a mantra for the listeners, for them to take away with them today?
Ooh.
I know, right?
Yeah. I think for people who know me, it would be leave a little sparkle wherever you go. I really, truly want people that after they've left my presence, they feel good about themselves. Their life has been, made a little bit brighter. And so I feel like if we all left a little sparkle wherever we went, the world would be a much shinier place filled with love and joy.
I agree. And you certainly do that. And for anybody that is interested in joining the Badass Boss Babe Club, or coming for a Zoom call, or checking them out, I highly, highly recommend it, because it's that vibe. I mean, there's people from all over. It's not that, it's, I guess the best way that I could is it's real. People are real, right?
Yeah.
There's all kinds of personalities, but people are real and authentic. And so one of the last questions that I have for you is, you had mentioned earlier on in the show about authenticity. And so what does authenticity, being an authentic person, mean to you?
Being authentic to me means really being true to yourself, and giving up that people pleasing. It means not listening to the voice in your head that tells you that you can't do it, but listen to the one that says you can, because that's your true self. That you can do anything that you set your mind to. Being authentic, it really is about discovering who you are and then being that, and not wavering. If somebody says, I don't like the pink in your hair, Jamie, I'm going to say, well, tough. I do, and I'm going to keep the pink in my hair. And that's being authentic to me. And so it's, doing the things that you love. And, there's a saying out there, like, as long as what you're doing doesn't cause harm to you or cause harm to somebody else, then do that thing. You keep doing what makes you happy, as long as it's not harming you or somebody else. And so if it makes you happy, do it. Find your joy, find your bliss, sparkle bright.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me, what is coming up for you personally, professionally, the
Yes.
club?
Well, there's a lot. I'm excited that in the fall, I'm going to be a published author with Namaste.
Yay!
So that's super exciting, through Star House Publishing. That was really an awesome journey to go on to start writing my story. So I appreciate your help through that. And I'm really excited for the book to come out. And then, we have networking events. We do co-working online, where we get together and collaborate, and just have the accountability and consistency in working on our businesses. And we have a networking event, a virtual networking event this Thursday. So, would love to see more lovely faces in there. And we've got some workshops coming up and all sorts of exciting things happening. So
how do they find you, Jamie? How do they find you?
Yes, they find me. Our website is badassbossbabe.club. So it's .club. And then on Instagram, Facebook, and everywhere else, it's at Badass Boss Babe Club.
That's awesome. And I am Jamie Gates.
I am Jamie Gates.
And so that's right. And that's who you are. And so check out the Badass Boss Babe Club on Facebook, and take your networking to the next level. And really, really find your tribe. I really do believe you find your tribe. They're very heart-centered entrepreneurs and people that really cheer you on for success. And I think that we all need those cheerleaders. We don't always feel like we're patting ourselves on the back. We need that tribe to always to be there. And that is the most amazing thing. So I want to thank you from my heart, and I'm sure the listeners, how amazing this show was today. And if you want to contact Jamie, reach out to her on social media. And if you are just tuning in and it's not live and you have one on replay, that's fine too, on demand. And you can check out badassbossbabe.club on the website. And I want to thank you so much for your time. I can't wait for your upcoming events. I can't wait for your networking events. And I can't wait for you to publish your book. And you're going to be a Namaste, which I'm so proud of you. And I'm so proud of the club and everything that you do, because it is with heart and soul. So thank you for joining me, Jamie. I look forward to having you back.
Thank you, Carol. I appreciate you so much. And this was such an honor to be here.
Thank you. And thank you to the listeners once again for tuning in to Soulfully Blonde. And I'm Carol Starr Taylor. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you for listening to Soulfully Blonde. To stay connected with Carol Starr Taylor, go to SOULFULLYBLONDE.com and tune in Tuesdays to the live show, weekly at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or catch the replay. You can also subscribe, share, and rate the podcast on your favorite platform. To be a guest and/or a sponsor, contact Carol at www.soulfullyblonde.com. Until next time, remember, there is a star in all of us. Keep growing and glowing.